Municipality of Palilula is part of the city of Niš, which was established in September 2004. Archaeological findings prove that the area was inhabited in 4000 years BC, during the Neolith and the Bronze Age. In the 8th century BC, Niš area represented the border zone between the Illyrians and the Thracians. In 3rd century BC, the Illyrians were defeated by the Celts, who conquered the whole region and gave Niš its first recorded name, Naissus, the city of fairies. In 75 BC, area was conquered by the Romans during the Dardanian War, and it became an important Roman military fortress. In 2074 AC, Constantine Flavius Valerius was born in Niš, Roman emperor and founder of Christianity, Constantine the Great. Bubanj Memorial Park is located on the hill southwest of Niš, and it's a memorial complex built as a remembrance of the suffering of the population in the Second World War. 3 monumental feasts raised with the relief on symbolize a national resistance to fascism and final victory. Hello, we are in the territory of the city municipality of Palilula, the city of Niš, specifically in the Memorial Park Bubanj. Palilula stretches over 117 square kilometers and has population of 80,000 people, and within are also 15 villages. Specifically in Vukomanovo village, by Seličevica mountain, we planned to develop rural tourism. Today, a gathering of young scouts, which is just one of the events in organization of our community, including Palilula evenings and evenings poetry in collaboration with the literary club Branko Miljković. Mountain Seličevica is located 6.5 kilometers southwest from Palilula. Biodiversity is rich and animals also inhabit the mountain. The parochial church Holy Trinity is located 2 kilometers south from Gabrovac. The present church was built 1833 on the foundations of previous monastery church Our Lady Holy Mary, courtesy of the Niš tradesman Kirkosta Todorović. Liberation from the Turks brought revolutionary progress when in 1884 opened the first Serbian railway from Belgrade to Niš. The railroad brought economic linking between Serbia and Europe that launched an unexpected development and a crucial influence on the economic zone and settlement of today's urban area Palilula. Niš, via Belgrade, was opened for import-export goods and exchange of knowledge. Next to the train station, there is a new church of Saint Petka. After liberation from Turks, construction of military facilities in the city area was very intense. The one most important and the most monumental military facility in Niš was built at turn of the 19th to 20th century and was named Filip Kljajić. Belgrade architect Danilo Vladisavljević designed for the Ministry of the Military Facility with a touch of Romanesque architecture. Construction was completed in 1900 and built in the style of Neo-Romanticism. It is an important architectural monument in Niš, especially because it is preserved to nowadays in almost original condition. Upgrades and modifications between the two world wars did not affect the original appearance. In front of the military barracks, Filip Kljajić is monument to fallen pilots. Nearby is the primary school King Peter I, the oldest primary school in the city municipality of Palilula, founded in 1933. Memorial Charnor House, built in 1948, where were buried about 2,500 members of Bulgarian armed forces killed in the final operations to fight against the German occupation forces in the former Yugoslavia, from Kumanovo to Drina. Throughout the history, outdoor markets evolved with development of cities. First such trade is noted within the city walls of the ancient city of Naissus. During the period of Turkish occupation, outdoor grocery market trade took place outside the city walls of the fortress, and later also in the city center. At that time, Turkish law Kanun, issued in 1498, regulated market, other duties and taxes on production and trade of goods in the city and open markets. In 2012, the city of Niš, via Palilula Municipality, participated in the reconstruction of existing market Palilula. Church of St. Nicholas with Hilandar Metokian is certainly the most important religious building in the municipality of Palilula. Based on the findings from 1907, it is presumed that the present church of St. Nicholas may be medieval temple dedicated to St. Procopius. The church of St. Procopius is mentioned as the seat of newly formed Eparchy of Niš in 1204. In the so-called Great War, the Turks burned the temple in 1690, church was rebuilt in 1862, and Savo Pasha built a minaret to it. After liberation from the Turks, 1879, the minaret was demolished, and on the day of Saint Emperor Constantine and Empress Helena church was consecrated. Almost half a century later, in 1926, the bell tower was built. Church was consecrated on 20th October 2007 by Bishop Irinei of Niš, the current Patriarch. Niš's Palilula is part of the city where always have been nourished the spirit of the old but noble and bohemian part of the city. One of the cultural events is Palilula Night that happens at the beginning of June, during the holiday of the city of Niš, Saint Constantine and Empress Helena Day, in the heart of Palilula on Palilula Ramps and Episcopska Street, gather thousands of Niš citizens and guests from the other city areas. Safari Regatta South Morava, teacher Viden Jovanović, is the recreational and sports event in City Municipality Palilula, which was established in 2014 in the memory of teacher who was drowned saving students on Lasina Lake. It takes place in the early June in the South Morava River. It aims to show the skill and dexterity of the participants, which requires rafting as an extreme sport that promotes a healthy lifestyle, the beauty of South Morava, and environmental protection activities. Hilandar Metokion in Niš is dedicated to Saint Sava. Hilandar monks of the Metokion complained about the cruelty of the Turkish authorities, which caused Sultan Mehmed III to issue a firman in 1587, which protects Christian places of worship and forbids abduction of monastery estates. This Metokion was permanently inhabited by monks from the mid-19th century. Chapel was built over time in 1890s. It became the only place for liturgical ceremonies in Niš due to the hard work and dedication of the monk Nicanor, the elder from Hilandar. In 1987 started building of the temple on Deliski Vis in the city of Niš, based on the project of architect Aleksandar Radović. Base of the temple was consecrated by Bishop of Niš, Irinej, the current patriarch, and soon next to the temple was built a lodging, consecrated 1998. 2000, Hilandar Metokion received Seminary of St. Cyril and Methodius from the city of Prizren. New seminary building was built next to the temple, which itself was fully constructed and consecrated in 2007 by the Patriarch of Serbia, Irinej. Under the blessing of Irinej, the temple was dedicated to the resurrection of Christ. Building of the Metokion with the church was a very important event for both our culture and civilization. New building of the Metokion from the end of 20th century is built in the spirit of Neo-Byzantine and medieval national architecture from the crucial moment in the history of Serbian people. Seminary St. Cyril and Methodius of Prizren today is located in the city municipality Palilula in Niš, but this wasn't the case throughout the past. We were founded in 1871 in Prizren by great Serbian benefactor Sima Andrejević Igumanov. Since then, seminary worked continuously until 1999, when under the pressure we had to leave the territory of Kosovo and Metohija and seek for a new location. We found ourselves here in Niš, in Hilandar Metokion, and that's where we started to work and build our own house. The building we are in right now was built later, and seminary continued to work without missing a single school year. Thanks to the city of Niš and to the affection of municipality leaders who welcomed us and helped us to build this building and stay. City of Pirdop is cultural and historical center of which there are data from the ancient times. It is located just 80 kilometers east of the capital Sofia. Birthplace of writer Todor Vlajkov, also known as the City of Storks, and today not only in Europe but also in the world as the capital of copper in Bulgaria. In addition to its production of copper and magnificent scenery, Pirdop municipality is also known for the 1,000-years-old past. In the vicinity of the habitat are sites dated to early Neolithic period. Thracian's epoch is also recorded in about 180 mogilas, tombs, and cultural remains, records, and traditions. Buildings and fortifications talk about the Byzantines, Slavs, and most of the life of medieval Bulgaria. People of Pirdop, patriotic and full of free spirit, contributed to the revolutionary struggle of the peoples against Turkish occupation and during the revival. Therefore, the ancient buildings and history are particularly respected among residents of the city. Most respected symbol and heraldic sign on coat of arms is the Pirdop Helenska Basilica. The area is known for strong spiritual energy. Legend tells of a deer, which is offered as a sacrifice on the day of the shrines, which had its confirmation in later times. While studying the ruins of the temple, experts have found a lot of bones and horns of the beautiful animal. Massive stone cross in the apse of the basilica, with its presence in these days, speaks of the distant 1893, from when Pirdop residents here have been celebrating the Christian holiday Ilinden. This place has a historical significance for Bulgaria.
Добре дошли на територията на община
Welcome to the
Пирдопа.
territory of Municipality of Pirdop. It is comparatively small Bulgarian municipality with about 8,600 inhabitants. It is located in the central part of Bulgaria, between Balkan Mountains and Sredna Gora. We are now about 3 kilometers from the town. Helenska Basilica is early Christian temple from the end of the 5th century and the beginning of 6th century. Excavation and discovering of this architectural monument began in the early 20th century, in autumn 1913, from when has been done a lot of conservation works to preserve the monument. On the territory of Pirdop is also the village Dušanci. Next to it is an artificial lake Dušanci that supplies with drinking water, copper plant and other business entities. Just 2 kilometers from the village is the first of 3 artificial lakes at the river Topolnica, Lake Dušanci. Beautiful nature, fishing in all seasons, attracts to the water dozens of visitors and lovers of water sports. With a significant length of about 8 kilometers, this place fits the growing tourism. This lake is one of the bases for the preparation of national teams for racing, canoes and kayaks. Topolnica River continues to south on north side of Sredna Gora. In the past, people of Pirdop were resting in many places along the river. Today, River Topolnica is stemmed by artificial lake Zekov. Dušanci lays the 19th century monument, Church St. Cyril and Methodius, which has been restored and renovated with 2 chapels, St. George and the Holy Trinity. It is a base for a preservation of Christian rituals and traditions among the villagers. Pirdop and village Dušanci are starting points of the routes to some of the most famous climbs in the area. Eco trails to the central Stara Planina and to the mountain lodge Paskal and Borova Gora. Another path leads to the popular destinations Džibidžijski Kladenac and Holy Virgin. Beautiful nature, old forests, meadows with mountain flowers are divine sightseeing for anyone who went this way. Cities Gramatnik, Zlatjovica and Artjovica, also known as Moon Valley, are nature's wonders with their cascading waterfalls and amazing gifts of nature. With some patience and a little luck, here you can see the lynx, wildcat, timid deer and roe deer, many species of birds listed in the Red Book of Bulgaria. Itinerary leads to the mountain hut, Pavel Deli Radev, at Sredna Gora, and to the connection of mountaineers who move from Pirdop for the neighboring municipality of Panagirište. The town museum is located in one of the few preserved buildings from period of Bulgarian rebirth. It was built in 1870-1872 by wealthy merchant Luka H. Pavlov. For him, it is interesting to say that he completed Belgrade Seminary and he is the first Bulgarian teacher that issued lithography edition with the characters of the Holy Brothers Cyril and Methodius in order to expand it by Bulgarian schools. After the liberation, he was a deputy, participated in the Constituent Assembly, participated in the drafting of the Constitution of Bulgaria, Trnovski Constitution, and was president of the district commission, who made plans for development of the Sofia area. The most famous monument of the city's past is the church Holy Assumption of the Virgin, built in 1819. It is unique due to its magnificent iconostasis, the work of master carvers of Debar school.
Като пожела да даде милост за древните дългове, сам дойде при отдалечилите се от неговата благодат и да разкъса
In Pirdop, you can also see the example of a beautiful architecture in the old bank building. A Bulgarian memorial school dedicated to soldiers from Pirdop bears the name of Todor Vlajkov, the writer and man of people. He was the only Bulgarian representative of the people and a social worker who allowed himself to personally, from the rostrum of parliament, criticizes the regime of Emperor Ferdinand and his policies, which devastated the country with two national disasters. Fountain in the ancient style is one of the summer attractions in Pirdop. Freshness through the day and colorful lights at night, Shardvan, as it is called, is a place where citizens gladly stop by. Almost in the center of the valley, Municipality is surrounded by ancient band of the Balkan Mountains to the north, Sredna Gora slopes to the south, and Golubec and Koznica. For travelers, it is attractive as something unique, where the urban environment grew dozens of sequoia trees. The first were planted in 1930 on the place where they later built railway station. Sequoias and interesting architecture of the building of the railway station are the first to welcome tourists who wanted to come to Pirdop by train. That is Pirdop, town of storks, copper capital of Bulgaria, a city with 1,000 years rich history, which is gracefully developing today for European future.